You're walking down the drinks aisle at Sainsbury's, picking up bottled water, not knowing that new investigations across Britain found shocking facts about certain brands. From huge amounts of microplastics to 63% having PFAS forever chemicals, your health and safety might be at risk. That's why we put together a complete report to show all water brands' contamination problems, bad sourcing, and fake labels to reveal everything they're hiding from you. Starting with the biggest lie of them all, Voss, that smooth cylinder bottle you see at Waitrose for $450. In fancy hotels, in nice restaurants, the simple design screams class. The marketing says pure Norwegian spring water from perfect underground sources. Norwegian TV reporters investigated and showed the whole thing as fake. They brought in water experts who tested Voss water and proved it's the same as city tap water from Iveland in Norway. Not spring water, not underground water, tap water. When reporters asked Voss chairman Rune Flogstad, he admitted on camera, "It is true that city customers in the area get the same water as we use. That's not argued. Voss never asked for a takedown. They just kept selling." What makes it worse is the company named itself after the town of Voss, which is 400 kilometers away from where they really bottle the water in Ireland. Pure marketing lies. Finnish TVIL ran blind taste tests with professional wine experts, and Voss came dead last out of 6 waters tested. You're not buying good water. You're buying a designer bottle filled with Norwegian tap water that traveled 1,100 kilometers to get to your hand. When I see Voss on the shelf now, I see $450 for something Norwegians get from their kitchen sink for free. That's not something I'm going to pay for. Number 2. Smart Water. Smart Water sits in every major UK store. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, corner shops everywhere. The clean bottle and science-sounding process make you think you're getting something better. But German consumer group Foodwatch gave Smart Water the Golden Windbag Award for the biggest lie in food ads. At the same time, Dutch consumer groups gave it the Gouden Vindai for the same lies. They're finding nothing but regular water sold through a science-sounding but totally useless making process. Here's what's really happening. The UK version starts with Northumberland spring water, which naturally has good minerals. Coca-Cola Vapor distills it, taking out every mineral. Then they add back tiny amounts of calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and potassium bicarbonate. Check the nutrition label. It shows 0 milligrams sodium. Water expert Martin Rees said these electrolytes give zero health benefit. Cleveland Clinic says science does not back these claims. You're paying £1.50 for water that had minerals, got stripped of minerals, then got traces added back so Coca-Cola could market it as better. That's a 250,000% markup from source cost. What makes this really insulting is you're drinking water that's worse than the spring water it started as paying high prices for a worse product. When I see Smart Water now, I see 2 worldwide consumer protection groups calling it the biggest advertising lie they'd seen. I leave it right where it sits. Number 3, vitamin water looks healthy. The bright bottles, the vitamin claims, the active lifestyle marketing. You see it across UK stores, convenience shops, gyms. But the UK Advertising Standards Authority banned vitamin water ads twice for lying to British shoppers. Each bottle has 26% of an adult's daily sugar amount. That's 7.5 grams per 100 milliliters. You're not drinking nutrition. You're drinking sugar water with almost no vitamins. Second ban came next. Ads claiming better hydration for the nation and delicious and nutritious were ruled misleading. Despite the nutritious claims, each bottle has 33 grams of sugar, the real vitamin content less than 0.5% of the drink. What makes it worse is what the UK Children's Food Campaign and British Heart Foundation found. Vitamin Water's website said spring water with fruit juice when only 3 of 8 flavors had any juice at all. All from concentrate, none fresh. When asked, Coca-Cola admitted this was a wrong description. That's business talk for lying. In the US, many class action lawsuits made the company add with sweeteners to labels and remove banned health claims. UK regulators have clearly banned this product from making health claims, because those claims are lies. When you see vitamin water now, you're looking at sugar water that had to be banned twice from lying to you. That's not something I want in my body. Number 4. Perrier. The green bottle that's everywhere. Restaurants, bars, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda. Nestle's famous sparkling water from France, sold as naturally carbonated from a protected source in Vergès. Consumer Reports testing found PFAS levels of 1.1 parts per trillion in Perrier. That's above the 1 ppt safety level recommended by environmental health groups. PFAS are called forever chemicals because once they get in your body, they never leave. They build up in your blood, your organs, your tissue. They're linked to kidney cancer and birth defects. But here's what makes this problem deeper. Recent French environmental studies found microplastics ranging from 1 to 121 pieces per liter across bottled waters, including Perrier. You're not just drinking PFAS, you're drinking tiny plastic bits that your body can't break down. The contamination sources include the bottle material itself, the cap, and the bottling process. Heat and light makes more plastic leak into your water. What makes this really annoying is Perrier's marketing. Protected source, natural purity, French class. If the water has man-made chemicals that build up in your kidneys and liver, how protected is that source? When you're paying $120 for a small bottle of Perrier, you're paying for PFAS contamination and microplastics dressed up in a green glass bottle. Number 5, San Pellegrino. San Pellegrino tested at 0.31 parts per trillion for PFAS. That's below the 1 ppt level. But you're still drinking forever chemicals in a product sold as Italy's best mineral water at 2 per bottle. Recent French studies confirmed microplastics in San Pellegrino along with other brands tested. But the real problem here is who owns San Pellegrino. Nestle. Nestle faced a €3 billion fraud problem in France. For over 15 years, the company illegally filtered water contaminated with feces, E. coli, PFAS, and pesticides across European operations, including big brands. They knew the water was contaminated. They knew filtering was illegal under European mineral water rules. They did it anyway, and sold it as natural mineral water to millions of families. What makes this really troubling for UK shoppers is the effects remain unknown. Was UK sold San Pellegrino affected? Nestle won't say. The company built their whole reputation on natural mineral water from protected Italian sources, then got caught filtering contaminated water across Europe for 15 years. When you're buying San Pellegrino now, you're trusting a company that spent 15 years lying to European regulators about contaminated water. That trust has been broken. Number 6, Evian. Evian is everywhere. Major UK stores, corner shops, fancy retailers. Danone markets it as natural spring water from the French Alps, pure and protected. Recent French studies found 1 microplastic particle per liter in Evian, among the lowest levels found but still going against every natural and pure claim on the label. A global study testing 259 bottles from 11 brands found 93% contamination, including Evian. With bottled water having twice as many plastic particles as tap water, you're paying 300 times more than tap water for something more contaminated than what comes from your kitchen tap. But the contamination gets worse. Swiss researchers found toxic fungicide contamination in Evian, directly challenging the brand's scientific calibration-grade purity claims used in labs worldwide. A U.S. lawsuit challenges Evian's natural spring water marketing, saying microplastic contamination makes the natural claim basically fake under rules saying, natural should mean free from fake additives, not normally expected in the product. What makes this really insulting is Evian's high pricing. You're paying $180 for a liter of water contaminated with microplastics and pesticides. While Evian markets scientific purity, when I see Evian on the shelf now, I don't see alpine purity. I see microplastics and fungicides wrapped in French marketing. That's not worth triple the price of contaminated tap water. Number 7, Volvic. Volvic sits in Tesco, Sainsbury's and Asda across the UK. Danone markets it as volcanic water from Auvergne. Consumer Reports arsenic testing found 4 parts per billion in Volvic. That's above Consumer Reports' recommended 3 ppb safety level. Arsenic is linked to high blood pressure, heart disease, blood flow problems, and cancer risk. The federal limit sits at 10 ppb, but health experts recommend lower levels for long-term drinking because arsenic builds up over time. What makes this really odd is Volvic's mixed safety record. Recent French studies found microplastics, but ranked Volvic number 1 safest for low microplastic content due to natural volcanic filtering. French magazine 60 Million Deconsommateurs rated it best for microplastics despite the arsenic concerns. You're getting the safest option for one problem while drinking another linked to heart disease and cancer. The pure volcanic water marketing falls apart when you're drinking arsenic with every sip. Dano knows about this. They've had years to fix it. When you see Volvic marketed as naturally pure volcanic water, remember you're drinking arsenic above health expert safety levels. That's not volcanic purity. That's a contamination problem dressed up in French geology. Number 8, Fiji water. That square bottle marketed as Earth's finest water from a remote Pacific underground source sold at Waitrose Ocado, and fancy UK retailers for $250 or more. Recent recalls tell a different story. Nearly 2 million bottles recalled for high manganese levels and bacterial contamination. 3 bacterial types found in products sold to UK shoppers. The FDA said it was not likely to cause bad health effects, but they still recalled it. That means Fiji knew there was a problem. Arsenic controversy follows Fiji everywhere. Cleveland City testing found greater than 6 mg per liter arsenic in Fiji water versus 0 in Cleveland tap water. A lawsuit filed this year claims Fiji's natural artesian water marketing is false advertising. Tests showed harmful microplastics and BPA contamination, challenging every purity claim Fiji makes. What makes this really crazy is Fiji water's huge carbon footprint. You're paying high prices for water from a contaminated area that travels halfway around the world, carrying 2,000 times the environmental cost of UK tap water. When I see Fiji water at Waitrose, I see bacterial recalls, arsenic fights, and microplastics shipped 16,000 kilometers to charge you $250 for contaminated water. Number 9. Highland Spring. Highland Spring is Scotland's #1 bottled water everywhere across UK stores. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Ocado, every corner shop. For decades, British families have trusted it as pure Scottish water from the Ochil Hills. But a recall showed Highland Spring had a dangerous making problem. August of the year before last, Highland Spring recalled 750 milliliter glass, sparkling water bottles due to making faults causing bottles to explode. The Food Standards Agency issued Product Recall Notice FSA Print 452021, covering 6 batch codes. An estimated 30,000 bottles were out there. 3 shoppers reported problems. 1 suffered a minor cut. What makes this really concerning is the size. Highland Spring sells 148.2 million pounds worth of water yearly, with 11% UK market share. With all those resources, with all that money, they still put 30,000 potentially exploding glass bottles into homes across the UK. Highland Spring has Soil Association organic certification and good ratings, but those certifications didn't stop exploding bottles reaching British kitchens. When you're picking up Highland Spring now, you're trusting a company that had to recall 30,000 bottles because they could explode. That's a safety failure at Scotland's biggest water brand. Number 10. Buckton. Nestle's mineral water from Derbyshire sold across every major UK store. Local communities know a darker story about Buckton's sourcing. While Nestle kept taking millions of litres from Ludchurch, Wales sources, local farmers faced water limits during drought. Farm users were told to cut back. Nestle kept bottling. The UN Special Reporter Pedro Arrojo Agudo said concern that bottling companies take the best quality drinking water, possibly risking public supply during shortages. But it gets worse. 5 years ago, the Lion's Mouth Public Spring in Buckton was repeatedly turned off for long periods. Local people suspected Nestle involvement controlling public water access. A petition got 11,000 signatures in 6 days demanding clear answers about Nestle's water rights deals with Buckton Town Hall and local authorities. The community accused Nestle and council of being unclear and dismissive about public water rights. What makes this really annoying is the unfairness. Farmers who grow your food are limited during drought. Nestle, who bottles water for profit, keeps taking. The company behind Buckton has faced water-taking problems in California, Pakistan, Canada, Maine, Michigan, and Florida. Ethical Consumer runs ongoing boycott campaigns against Nestle for water selling practices. When you buy Buckton, you're supporting a company that takes millions of liters during droughts while your neighbors are told to save water. Number 11. Harrogate Spring Water. Harrogate Spring Water is sold on British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, Jet2, TUI Airways, EasyJet, and across major UK stores. Danone owns the majority stake, but expansion plans threaten Rotary Wood, a woodland area planted by volunteers and local primary school children. MP Tom Gordon led the Save Rotary Wood campaign with petitions and public opposition. This has become one of Harrogate's most divisive planning battles in recent years. Decision delayed multiple times by North Yorkshire Council as of this year. What makes this really sad is the backstory. Local primary school children planted that woodland. Volunteers spent years growing it. Now, Danone wants to destroy it to bottle more water. The company claims quiet but wide support. Campaigners disagree completely. There are no contamination problems with Harrogate Spring Water's bottled product. But when you're buying Harrogate Spring Water, you're supporting a company trying to destroy woodland that children planted to expand their bottling operation. That's corporate expansion bulldozing community green space for profit. Number 12, Tesco Ashbeck, Sainsbury's Caledonian, Asda Smart Price, Little Saskia. You grab them because they're cheap. 17 to 50p per liter versus £1.50 for fancy brands. But recent studies show industry-wide problems affecting every bottled water brand, including store-owned brands. University of Birmingham testing 85 UK bottled water samples from 17 brands found 100% microplastic contamination. Every single bottle, averaging 37 microplastics per liter. More worrying, bottled water particles measured smaller than tap water particles, meaning they go deeper into your organs. 63% of UK bottled waters have PFAS forever chemicals. Yet, the UK has no legal limits, only non-binding guidance. While UK tap water goes through 4 million yearly tests with 99.97% passing, bottled water falls under broken-up local authority oversight. Zero major contamination recalls from 2020 through now, despite widespread contamination in testing. The Drinking Water Inspectorate clearly says bottled water is regulated by local authorities, not DWI. Store brands face the same contamination as fancy brands, but with even less testing transparency. Little Saskia is imported from 5 different German springs, not UK-sourced. Tesco Ashbeck was recently rebranded with changed mineral makeup. When you're buying store-bottled water to save money, you're still getting 100% microplastic contamination, likely PFAS, and way less regulatory oversight than tap water. You're trading cost for invisible contamination. So, what should you drink? UK tap water with a good filter. A good water filter removes the trace contaminants that can show up in tap water while keeping good minerals. We've tested multiple filtration systems and found one that's 2,000 times cheaper than bottled water for truly cleaner water than any bottle on this list. We're leaving a link in the description and pinned comment for the specific one that is tested and safe. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to see another investigation like this, click the video on screen.